Good morning. Good morning, everyone, or whenever you watch this, whatever time you watch this, good day, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is. Welcome to the personal storytelling workshop, where I will use a personal storytelling tool, which is really a deck of cards that I created. The tool is to create opportunities for social engagement and self-inquiry in my art practice. The tool is a card deck inspired by the artwork of Luigi Savon, Philip Thomas, Mafalda Mondestein, and of course my own work. So today we're going to start with reading a passage from a story that I selected. We've been doing that since the workshop started in attachment to Documenta. So I've chosen today a book, and I don't know this story well at all. I think you saw me skimming through it, and that's what I'm gonna just jump in to see what we can pull out from that story. All right, we're also gonna use the cards later on to reflect on the story, maybe come up with alternatives, comments, conclusions, etc., just to explore what I read. And also, if there is someone that has joined the workshop, it will be open at that point for you to jump in and we can discuss your own story. This workshop is free to join. I am doing this on Mondays and Wednesdays during the 100 days of Documenta 15. Okay, and then we will wrap up. So we start at 10 a.m. and finish at 10:40, the length of a Zoom meeting that is on the free platform, the free application. And that's significant to me because I feel like if we're talking about how things have altered our story in the past 2 years, past whatever amount of years, certainly that 40-minute time span has been something that a lot of people have had to contend with, particularly if you are maybe in a space where you don't have the resources to pay for the platform. All right, so let's get into it. All right. So today I'm reading from, it's a pretty new, I guess, collection of short stories. It's called Beneath the Moon by Yoshitani. And it's Beneath the Moon, fairy tales, myths, and divine stories from around the world. And I believe it's a collection of 80 plus stories. Yeah. All right. And the one I've chosen today, which I am sure to mispronounce names, but we'll go with it. And if you know the story and you know the name, please do put it in the comments. We're on YouTube. We're going to be archived on YouTube. Yeah, feel free to let me know how it's pronounced. Let all of us know. So the story, the name is Boitata, which is what I can figure out. Boitata. There's an accent over the last A. And this is from Brazil. It's part of Brazilian mythology, according to the author. So legend has it that long ago, I'm trying to switch up my my thing. Okay, legend has it that long ago there once was a night that did not end. Deep in the Amazon forest, the night went on, lasting days and weeks and months. In this darkness, the people began to starve because they could not grow crops for food. It was too dark to see anything, too dark even to chop wood, to make into torches to burn. It became oppressive, and all the animals and people began to grow scared. Then it began to rain. The rain went on with no end in sight. The forest began to flood, and many of the animals and people, weak with hunger and cold, drowned in the endlessly rising waters. It was then that a huge snake sleeping on a log deep in the forest woke from its slumber. It woke feeling very hungry. It slithered easily through the wet forest because it knew how to swim and was accustomed to darkness. It began to eat all the dead floating animals, filling its belly to bursting. Eventually, because there were so many animals, the snake was able to feast on only its favorite part, the eyes. The eyes of the animals gleamed bright with the light of the last rays of the sun the animals had seen. So with each eye the snake swallowed, the brighter the snake itself became. It ate so many eyes full of light that it became fire with its brilliance, banished the rain and the night, and brought warmth back to the forest. The snake became known as the boitata. Now the boitata is considered a protector of the forests and fields. Its bright eyes can see perfectly in the dark, and it will kill anyone who tries to set fire to the forest, eating their eyes. Anyone who has the misfortune to see the snake will go blind, go insane, or even die. Okay, that's an intense story, isn't it? But is the reality that I guess we use mythology to explain. It's very visual as well. So I want to get into using the cards to look at how we could interpret this story. But first, I want to think about maybe some themes that came up. So I'm gonna grab my paper. All right, so let's switch to my other camera. Okay, that's my roof. Okay, so we have paper that we've been using in the workshop every day. This is our deck of cards. I'm gonna grab a pencil. My pencil is a bit far out of reach. All right, here we are. So that made me think of nature, like natural elements. Let me turn off this camera just to make sure that you can access this. Okay, I'm hoping that this will show up in the recording. All right, so it makes me think of natural elements and it's kind of a magic, isn't it? Like magic. The way that a snake is able to like eat eyes and then get somehow the quality of those eyes, which it describes something which is a phenomenon that is very well known. You know, okay, phenomenon, yeah, that word comes up, which is when you look at people's eyes, when they're looking at light, you can see the glimmer. And I think I love how it's seized on that little element to create the story, because the idea is that I guess the people that created this folklore, this mythology over time, I guess it was the assumption that the light was a part of the eye, or the eye contained the light, or the eye somehow captured the light. And in some ways that's true, right? In some ways, the eye captures the light, and I think the assumption is that the light then becomes some kind of an internal illuminator in the eye. Yeah, well, I think that's really interesting, the way that they thought about this. Just like very nuanced thing, the way that eyes gleam. Okay, so I'm gonna write that eyes, and like the power of is it the power of, I don't want to say it's sight, because I don't think these animals were full of sight. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm seeing like how the snake almost absorbed the quality of the eye. So it's like it absorbed. Okay, I'm gonna put absorb. So it absorbed the quality of the eye. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that. Let's see if we can look for some more things. And there's a sense of like doom almost. So I'm gonna put that as well. There's also an interesting thing where everything but this snake had died. It's almost like being the last survival. Okay, so let's see, put the last survival. Last. All right, so we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little words or themes to look through our deck with. I like to use this as a kind of guide when I'm looking at things. Okay, so let's bring our, okay, so we're back. We're back. My recording ended and I needed to come back in. I'm gonna see if I can just use this one camera to do this, because things do get technically difficult. Okay. All right, so let me grab a piece of paper. Okay, that works. So we're gonna do things a little bit differently from the last couple of days where I've been using 2 cameras. Today I'm gonna use just the one, just to avoid technical difficulties. So we were looking at our words here: natural elements, magic, phenomenon, eyes, absorb, doom, and last survival. Okay, so I'm gonna try to come up with some cards. This is our deck. So let's try to come up with some images that reflect that. Okay, so we have, this is a card that, I don't know, that this makes me think of magic. Or I'm gonna put this aside. This one, not so much. I'm gonna put this one out of the pile. This one, I feel, maybe this one could talk about being absorbed. Let's put our images here, okay. So I'm gonna add this to my pile. We have this one. This one seems to talk about, did I type phenomenon already? Eyes. I see eyes in this one, actually. Yeah, there we go. I see eyes in that. All right, so let's put that one aside. Okay, we've got to notice that we have 10 minutes left. All right, let's think about doom as well. Okay, this is also like doom. And then this one makes me think of last survivor. Wait, no, there's one in here. I know that makes me think of last survivor more than that. Okay, here's one. The last person. Okay. So I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. All right, so here I see, let me arrange them in an order. So natural elements. Okay, magic, natural elements, okay. Phenomenon. Magic, eyes. Doom. Okay, last survivor. Okay, all right, so I think I have an order. Let's behold this. All right, so we have the eyes here looking at us, and it reminds me of Boitata looking through the dark, observing. People didn't quite know that this snake was there, but it was always there, right? It was watching. And that's kind of uncanny. Makes you think about what else is there. And then it emerges. But it's still quite a mysterious phenomenon because you're not sure where it came from, what exact form it is. We know it's a snake. I suppose the snake was quite large at some point. I always wondered if it was a python. I don't even know if pythons are found in Brazil. Or is it anaconda? I'm not sure. All right, and this is what makes me think of like phenomenon and magic. So we had eyes before, like just looking, but now we have these kind of activated figures, like tasting the air, like a tongue, or just some kind of shape here. But whatever it is, this hand is emerging through here. Okay. And then we have this consideration of someone being a last survivor. Like I when I see this, I think of the animals in that story, how they felt, they might have felt, just kind of like being drowned, being overcome by this water, this flood. It's kind of like this figure. I'm seeing like 2 feet here in a ship here. So there's a sense that whatever it is, there's, even if you don't see that, there's something here in the water of which this kind of more triangular shape is kind of wedged against. So there's definitely a feeling of, maybe I would feel a little bit of despair. And then this is like the last survivor here. This is the person here that we have as the last survivor. Okay, so we do have, this is the story that we have here. We do have something of despair. We have this person, but I feel like this person is either going to freedom or is fleeing, or this could be the last animal that was left. So we're not sure if it's good or bad, great. We do have a person joining us. We have a participant joining us, Sasha K. Hines. Welcome, Sasha K. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Yeah.
Hi, Oneika.
So we actually have 4 minutes left in our session, but we can get started. We can just do one card for you today.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, all right. So do you want to tell me something? Do you want to tell me a story or what you feel today? Or do you want, you know what, let me pull something for you. Maybe I'll pull.
Yes.
All right. So here's the card. I don't know if you could see that.
It's like somebody's resting. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now.
You
I
feeling
took a
like
day off from work.
You feeling
So
like you need rest?
yes. I took a day off today to stay home.
Oh.
It's feeling and I got sick yesterday, so
Oh my gosh, that is well, I'm glad you got that card then. So we need
yes.
need rest, and this person is, yeah, trying to sort through life, I think, and maybe fight off disease and illness, virus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you got to take the day off. What do you do as work?
I teach at a high school now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my last 2 weeks.
Oh.
But it's been 6 months of it consistently going to work. But God no, it's not for me. The full-time thing is not for me.
Yeah.
So I'm considering more resting, kind of figuring it out how to, I guess, work but also not overwork myself.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now, and I feel like because I'm overworking, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I keep getting ill.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's interesting. I was just talking to a artist at Edna Manley College
Mm-hmm.
yesterday when I went there to the final year show, and she had made all these beds on the outside, and then I was
Yeah.
a photograph of her and asked her to rest in it, and it was just foreign to her to kind of like rest herself. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think female artists actually work really hard. A lot of
Really
artists
hard.
work hard, but yeah, I can say we work hard. So you deserve the rest. And what you plan to do after this now, after resigning?
I'm just gonna just focus on making work.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing art and trying to figure out how I can sustain myself.
Yeah.
Without having to go to work. It's going to be hard, but I don't know.
Yeah. You're gonna.
But I guess the mindset has to be there first.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thinking about art as it relates to like just resting and I guess this whole aesthetic of like soft life, especially for Black women.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about it because
We
my
have
mom,
we have 30 seconds left. So let me just
yeah,
say thank you before you. I'm gonna give you a chance to wrap up, but say thank you
yes.
to everybody for joining, and then finish, please, Sasha K.
Yeah, like a lot of us don't get time to rest because I saw my mom just consistently work. And then I just had that mindset that I have to do the same,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
go into that same thing. But it was never my thing
Yeah.
from mom. Yeah, I don't like it. So I'm
And you
trying
have
to.
options. You have options now, like, and you're so skilled.
Yes,
Don't forget
that's
that.
what I've been saying.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.